All right, do a quick walk around to the Cherokee. Finally got the lift on. It's been, what, months and months. So, ended up working out to about 5 inches. Those are 33 1050s. Let's see. I got the Rubicon Express leaf springs. These are 3.5 inch, and they actually ride fantastic, man. Everybody who's saying they ride horribly, they got to fix their shackle angles. Mine's just back a little bit. That one's back a little bit more, but not by much. But I got the Rough Country shackle relocation brackets. I trimmed all that because I'm using new factory shackles, and they were hitting it. You can't really tell where they hit it, but I painted it all up after I cut it. But so I cut those so that the shackles would have room to move. I got Skyjacker shocks on it. Come around the back. There's the new U-bolts, of course. Got stainless brake lines, pre-bent for the rear. Extended brake hose that I got from Rock Auto. It's made by a company called Sunsong, but they make Napa's brake lines. They make them for everybody. So I just went straight to the source. I think I paid like $7 a piece for all three hoses, and they're 4-inch extended. I got these shock brackets for my Chevy, but I'm not going to 4-link it. So I just used them on this because I didn't have any. Got new wheel cylinders in there, and I actually pulled the axles out of the housings and unbolted the drums, so I didn't have to touch the parking brake. I didn't have to do anything. I just took the drums off my old axle, put the drums on the new axle, and brakes were already adjusted and set and everything. Got a 4 8.25 that I picked up at a junkyard that was like 6 hours away. It was insane. There's the other relocation bracket. These are Krager wheels. They have a 4.75 back spacing, 15 by 8s. And I don't like them. I had a set of Tactics. They just stuck out too far, but they were twice the wheel these are. All right, up front we have the Rough Country control arm drop brackets with a set of 4.5-inch Rubicon coil springs, Rubicon Express, and again Skyjacker shocks and extended brake lines. Painted the shocks black because I didn't want white shocks. Let's see. Got new brakes. I got centric rotors and brake pads. There's the spring. I have an Iron Rock track bar, adjustable track bar, that worked out perfectly. And of course I already had the 410 front axle because I had to replace the front axle for inspection. So I just popped that in. I just haven't been able to use four-wheel drive. Luckily we didn't get any snow. But even if we did, I have the Jeep, so not a big deal. So I feel like that was a short list, but there was way more to it than what I just listed off. Oh, the trans mount I replaced, transmission mount. Oh, yeah. Where's it at? Got an advanced adapter slip yoke eliminator in. Getting this stupid transfer case out was the hardest part, and getting one of the snap rings off the main shaft and getting it back on was almost impossible. This is a drive shaft out of a Grand Cherokee MP230. I think it was a 231 transfer case. I can't remember which one it was. I found out that it's almost the perfect length for a 5-speed with a 4.5 to 5-inch lift. So that's what I got, but I did have to have it extended a little bit. The dude went crazy and extended it like 1.5 inches too long, so it can pull out about another 2 inches, and then it's maxed out. So hopefully it doesn't go bad on me. We'll see. I think that's about it under here. These bolts, these eye bolts, for anybody who's doing this job, there's red Loctite on them. So what you have to do, you take a torch, I had a MAPP gas torch, put it right on the head, just directly on the flat. Heat that bad boy up, take a breaker bar, give it one crank to loosen and one crank to tighten. Then 2 cranks to loosen, 1 crank to tighten, 2 cranks to loosen, 1 crank to tighten. So really, it takes you twice as long to get the bolts out, but I didn't break one bolt. I didn't break either one of these front bolts or either one of the shackle bolts, and that's the technique I use for everything. So that was it. Heat the head of the bolt, comes right out. I did that for the transfer case bolts. I did it for everything. Didn't break a single bolt the entire job. So yeah, there we go. Just wanted to show you all how it's looking. Not a huge fan of the drop brackets because they do drop down a little bit. But if I'm ever in anywhere, say I'm in Ohio on a trip or something like that, and one of my control arms gets messed up, the bushing or whatever, I can just get another one from a scrapyard. I don't have to order a Johnny joint or whichever kit I would buy for long arms. I don't have to wait for shipping and all that mess. But that's about what it looks like. Not too shabby. Wheels don't really stick out much. Let's see. They stick out a tiny, tiny bit in the front. Of course, they're turned now. But in the back, right to the edge of the flare. Oh, and I had to trim the bumper caps too. I didn't have to, but I did. So I got rid of that bottom lip, trimmed the caps. It's still rubbing right there, but it's almost self-clearanced. So we'll be getting an aftermarket bumper at some point. I think I'm going with AJ's for the tire carrier and the front winch bumper. But yeah, that's it. Just want to do a quick video, show y'all where I'm at. Next up is bumpers. So we'll be back when that happens.